What's going on YouTube? Jason here with a quick review of the San Martin SN0021 in the green color. Alright, so we all know that this is supposed to be a BB36 homage. The watch wears a relatively mid-size. Alright, so we have got a case diameter of 37 mm, lug to lug 45 mm, and a thickness inclusive of the sapphire crystal of 11.3 mm. Okay, so if you do not know about the brand San Martin, they are a brand that pretty much sells off AliExpress. I first took notice of San Martin when they actually had, I think, a PP Calatrava style homage that had a black text logo and an ivory white dial that they don't seem to reproduce anymore on their website. So I've been following it since the day that it had just a simple horizontal line of text logo to today's hexagonal logo, and the prices compared to the other watches, other brands on AliExpress, this really is the premium. This really is the AliExpress watch that Harrods will sell to you, you know. Joking aside, how has my experience been with the watch? I would say that it's a relatively pleasant experience. I have tried the BB58 before I ever had it on my wrist, and I would say that this watch really wears very close to the BB58 case. Maybe the BB36 case is also somewhat similar. Okay, think about the color. I know it says it's green. I'm not sure if you can see it on screen, but at least to me it's a very flat enamel dark green, right? So it's a very flat enamel dark green, and you see the reflection, the AR coating. Maybe it just isn't there. I was hoping to show you some of the green color. Okay, so how has the experience been? I think overall it's fine. It wears well, except there are some flaws with the watch. Alright, so let me just point out the flaws of the watch. Some of you may note the case. The case has got this very sharp edge here. It reminds me of the scene in Nobody, where the person actually took out his watch and started whacking all the other persons on the bus. Alright, so go and check out that scene from Nobody. It gives a new definition to the term a beater watch. Alright, so it's very sharp. Alright, okay, let me just impress on you by impressing on myself. Okay, alright, it's quite sharp because they didn't do an extra beveling here to make it less protrusive. Okay, the logo, I'm not a fan of the logo. I'm not a fan of the hexagonal logo. They could have done with the line of text just saying San Martin, and they would do well. The movement, okay, the crown, alright, the crown is a bit stiff, I feel. Alright, just put it close to the camera so you can hear it. Right, there's a lot of there is a fair bit of resistance, alright, compared to, say, if you use a Seiko hand winding movement, but not as much as the two seagulls that I recently acquired. Alright, so this is somewhere in between a Seiko or a Miyota hand winding movement and the Seagull ST2130 movement in terms of winding. However, the PT5000 is pretty much quite impressive in terms of timekeeping. I just placed it on the I think Timekeeping app on my mobile phone. I got plus minus 0 seconds. All right, plus minus 0 seconds, and I think the bit error is 0.5. All right, so I think you shouldn't get a bit error of more than 0.8. So I've got 0.5 bit error. All right, so those are quite impressive specification for a movement that beats 28,800 bhp. All right, PS. All right. So things that I would say other issues I've mentioned about the class being a bit too rigid. So it still is, there's no sticker, right? Somebody mentioned that I've left a sticker on there, right? Just to be sure I don't embarrass myself. No, there's no sticker, but it requires some force to get it close. All right, so I suspect it's not milled perfectly. All right, not the worst milling, but it's still not milled perfectly. All right, so certain angles is okay. All right, yeah, you see it stays there. Okay, there is no originality in terms of design, but you are paying, you are after all buying a homage, so that shouldn't be a complaint. Would I buy this watch again? Not likely. I think I bought this watch to experience what all these, to experience the San Martin hype. Okay, let's get it in focus. I will be probably looking at offloading it in the second wave, as I have mentioned in my other videos. Would I recommend it to a newbie? I think this really depends on your budget. In terms of, again, as I've mentioned just now, this really is the highest end of homages you can get from AliExpress. All right, you pay a bit more, you can get perhaps maybe a Swiss homage. Is it the Steinhardt or the Davosas or the Gino? All right, so those are the other contenders. Otherwise, for a beginner, all right, for someone who's just starting out in watch collecting, maybe only if you have got the budget, but I won't strongly recommend this watch. You need to know what you are getting into. All right, I think this is about 450 460 Singapore dollars. You pretty much can get two lesser build quality AliExpress watches, or you can get even a Seiko. All right, you can get a good Seiko 5 or maybe a second-hand Prospex diver. All right, so that's all I have got for you today. All right, cheers.